welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Natasha and welcome to Free Pattern Friday. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had lots of time to look through my patterns in previous weeks to see if there are any that take your fancy. If at all that you want anything for me to search, then I'm quite happy to do it. Just leave a comment in the comment box below and I will see what I can do for the following week. Today I have 7 patterns and I've picked them all because there's a reason behind it, just for my own personal reason really. Just a bit of this and a bit of that. I'm trying to go with themes as I go, just so that you know what to expect but you don't know what patterns I'm going to choose. I think that's what I'm really basically trying to say. And so I'm just going to go straight into it and show you what I have. Now last week I chose a rose pattern for you, which was obviously free because that's the title of this video. And I did say that I was going to choose a flower every week to go towards a bouquet or anything that you want to do, even if it's not a bouquet and you want to carry on making several of the flower that I give you, then that's fine. But I just thought it would be nice to give a mixed bouquet by the end of it, because then you can make it into a project, because you know that I'm going to actually be posting something, but you won't know what flower it is until until Friday. But so this week I have chosen one which is a tulip, and I like this one because sorry, hang on, my light's a bit bright there. Because you not only do the bulby bit in the middle, but there is actually separate leaves, which is actually like a tulip, because the patterns I've used before that are free, they are and I think I might actually put in the description box below the video that I followed of the tulip, in case you like that different shape, which is obviously free anyway. But she called, the lady called hers, I can't remember who it was, but again it will be in the description box below, but hers was Yarn Scrap Friday or something like that. Anyway, hers were like just in one piece, and then you pinched the ends together and sewed them up so that it just looked like little points, which again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I do prefer this shape. And when I saw it, actually I don't know why my video is looks quite misty to me. I hope it isn't to you. Let me see if I can move my light to make it a bit brighter. Hold on. These things are sent to try us, aren't they? Don't know, maybe it's a setting on my phone, or hold on a minute. Alexa, turn the dining room light on.
Okay.
That might make it a bit better, I don't know. Something. I've not changed anything on my phone, so I don't know why it looks so misty. Anyway, I digress. So these look like actual leaves on it, and I do prefer that. And I also like the fact that it is quite thick stems with the long leaves, and so that's why I've chosen the tulip for this week. Now let me think, hold on. I haven't really looked through, so it's a surprise for both of us this week because I haven't had time. I've just literally seen it and printed it off ready to do. So they're saying that you can, for this you use a fingering or a super fine yarn. You don't really need to. You can use DK. I've made them in DK before when I've made flowers. Obviously not necessarily this one because I've just found it, but you don't really have to. Or otherwise you can use cotton, of course. But all in all, it looks like it's very straightforward. It's in American terms, not English terms, but it's really strange why it looks so misty. I'm hoping that it won't come out like that when I've uploaded it. Maybe it's just something not very good, is it? Sorry about that. Keeps going in and out now. Weird. Okay, so anyway, it's all straightforward, and you just go up and down. There's some. It's really detailed, and it shows you exactly how to do it by picture and not just the words, because I know a lot of people do like to follow pictures to make sure it looks right. And you know, if you struggle actually reading the pattern and don't know really how to do it, it makes sense to follow the picture. Oh, it's all very straightforward, so it's very well detailed, and I do love how it's set out. And I don't know who the designer is because it doesn't say it on the front, but it does. I have managed to get all my patterns this week from Love Crafts, so if you want to trot over there and have a look without necessarily printing them out or downloading them, then you don't have to. So that was my tulip one. Oh, I haven't told you the hook, have I? Obviously, depending on what yarn you use, you probably wouldn't use a too big a hook if you're only using fingering weight. But it hasn't got it actually. Or am I just missing it? Hold on. Oh. It just says that there's wire in the stalks. How bizarre. Oh, well, it doesn't say. So I'm assuming that you, obviously, if you're, whatever your yarn you're using, you'll know what hook size it actually goes into. Oh, that's a much better picture. It's a bit dark, but at least it's a bit clearer. And so, you know, you will just use your favourite hook for your favourite yarn. That's what I would suggest. I always use a smaller one, admittedly, even if I'm using DK, just because I like the stitch definition better. My second pattern is by Leanna's Designs, and it's the Positive Potato. Now, we all like a bit of positivity, don't we, in our lives? And we all need to be reminded now and then. So I thought they will be absolutely lovely, even as teachers' gifts or just as a reminder on children's bags, because a lot of children don't think that they're enough, and they do need a little bit of TLC. Anyway, this one is a 3.5mm hook and uses DK, but again, if you want to use cotton, use cotton. If you want to use fingering weight, then that's fine. Or if you want to even have a larger potato, use Aran. It doesn't matter. The stitch definition will be different as you go along up the yarns, of course, but I don't see a problem with that. It says to use safety eyes for the potatoes' eyes, but obviously you embroider them if they are under 3 years old. And it says to use a clasp for attaching to backpacks and things, but again, you don't need to. Even if you didn't want to have a little chain, they could just put them in their pencil cases, and then every time they get their pencil case out, they're reminded. There's just, you know, you don't have to do as the pattern says. The thing that I like about this is the fact that you get the messages with them. Now, hold on a minute. Oh, hang on. I think I might have done 8 because I didn't realise that was there. Right, okay, that's for another thing. Now, there's one that says life was all out of lemons, so here's a potato instead. I don't particularly like that saying. I don't know. That's my opinion only. Some people might well like it. And it says you can print out a sheet, cut out your chosen saying and leave a margin on each side, and then place a piece of sticky tape across the saying to strengthen it. So, in other words, you don't have to print it out on card. You can just use paper and then put sellotape over it so that it makes it a bit stiffer. The this one I like because it does have UK terms as well as US terms, so that will help for the people that don't use American. It's a 3.5mm hook, and you just go in the round like you normally would. And I think also it may well be quite a good beginner's picture as well. This one here is on here. Now I printed it out so that it printed on both sides, but then that leaves all the messages, all the little positive messages on the back sheet, but you'll need it for that. So maybe if you wanted to just cut it out after you've done it, then that's fine, but if you wanted to keep it, you'd have to do it as single pieces of paper. The other sayings on it are, I may be a tiny potato, but I believe in you, so go do your thing. That is the saying that I really, really love. Absolutely. And that's the one that I would be choosing. So, and they give you 2, but they give you 2 rows of each. And I actually thought when I first printed it out that there was more sayings than that, but that doesn't matter. You can always make your own suggestion and then cover it with tape and then stick it to it. You don't have to go with what they suggest. But again, it looks all straightforward and it's not bad at all. I don't see that there is a problem with it. And I just thought it would be a nice quirky little gift, you know, like I say, for a teacher or for a child's bag. And that would be, what have I just done with that then? And that would actually be quite a nice quirky gift. So I'll just show you one more time. Don't know what's wrong with my camera lately. I even wiped the lens, so it's not that. I don't know. Now, moving on to some bits and pieces that aren't amigurumi for a minute. I have chosen a beach bag, and this caught my eye because of lots of different stitches. Come on, let's see if this will make a difference. I don't know if it will or not. No, because that's being brighter. Oh, we are doing well, not. Trust me, eh? It's all different stitches. You've got V stitches there and some cluster stitches, I want to say, granny square ones. Let's have a look. It's written in US terms, and there's 24 different colours. If you want to do like that, you don't have to do lots of different colours. You can just do all one, or even have one of those mixed balls, you know, with the graduated yarn. The crochet hook they recommend is a 3mm, but they're suggesting to use cotton. Like I say, you can use DK if you want to, but for more hard wearing, cotton would be better because it doesn't stretch half as much. But of course, if you're going to line it, it doesn't really matter anyway, because that is an option for you to do for those of you that know how to line bags. It asks the question, can I use a different yarn? It says of course you can, and it's got all the abbreviations for the stitches, so you can learn to read the pattern if you don't already know how to read the pattern, and that goes without saying for all of them really. And the pattern designer has given an email address if you need any questions sent to them about it or anything. And she also has lots of other free patterns on her blog as well, which obviously once you click onto the bag, you might well be able to see the rest of them. What else can I tell you about it? It's very straightforward. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything complicated in there, because even if you don't know how to do the stitches, practice makes perfect, and they're not hard. They all look like basic stitches to me. And I thought that with the handle as well, seen as summer's coming. Oh my goodness me, get down. Seen as summer is coming, let me see if it makes a difference without it. Oh, a little bit actually. You know, with summer coming, I thought it would be a nice addition to a collection of crocheted things. Next we have a baby sun hat. Now this leads me to actually a suggestion that someone sent to me. Let me see if I can move it. I don't understand why it is so cloudy. I don't know. Let me see if I can move the camera. Hold on. Doesn't really make a difference. I'm wondering whether it was the reflection from the window, that's all. And I know I'm fussing now, but it's quite off-putting. So take me as you find me. I don't edit, and I'm sure that it will be fine in the end. But anyway, I digress again. Baby Sun Hat by Sarah Louise by Grovia. Might have butchered the name, but if you can see that lovely little hat, there's no gaps, and I think it would be lovely for a little baby. This using cotton yarn and a 2.5mm hook. It's in American terms, and she gives sizing tips. To make a bigger size, you can use a heavier yarn and a bigger hook, or you can continue to increase after the round 17 before going to the straight part of the hat. If you choose the increase option, you need to increase the number of single crochets between the single crochet increase when starting the increases after the straight part to get to the correct placement of the increases all the way around. So it does give you the options, and all in all there's only 44 rounds, and I think that would be a really quick make. And again, seeing as summer's coming, it would just be lovely, I think. And you can do it in any colour as well, can't you? You don't have to just stick with white. I mean, white's not the greatest of colours, is it, for a baby? But I do think that any colour's really nice. So, and also because I printed out on one, you know, use both sides, it's just one sheet. So that is a good little thing. Not using too much ink and not too much paper either. And then my next thing before I come to my amigurumi finds is a thing to something to use up all of your not all of your, some of your scrap yarns, because it's just a little tiny scrap project. And this can be used for gifts, for teacher gifts, or if you're having a party, to put in party bags and things like that. And that is leftover yarn bracelets, and you can put beads on them or just leave them plain, and I thought that would be quite a nice idea. And again, you don't have to just use cotton, you can use any sort of scrap yarn and design it to your heart's content. It's saying to use fingering 4-ply, but again, you don't have to. I'm sure DK would be fine. And a 2.5mm hook. They're suggesting if you do want to put beads in, use 3mm ones. But I don't think it matters as long as they're not too big. If you've got some lying around that you want to use up, then that's really good. Now, how much yarn? It says 1 or 2 meters only. So really is, if you've got scrap yarn, that would be a lovely project to use up, and it gives a personal touch if you're putting them in party bags or doing them for teachers' gifts or even friends' birthdays and things like that. You know, if you've got someone, a child's got someone to give to in, you know, in their classes, whatever, then that's really nice. And even then, gifts for end of term for their friends, you know, if they're going to be moving up and not necessarily being in the same group or anything, because for all ages, you know, all ages of people like to wear bracelets, don't they? So I don't think it really matters. But I just had to show you because I thought that would be a lovely little project, just to use all the little tiny bits that we get from our leftover projects. Okay, sorry about that. I had a knock at the door. Also, I thought I would turn the camera around whilst I was up and about, and I've put it the other way round, and it doesn't seem to be so cloudy, so I'm not sure whether it was the reflection from the curtain or what it was that was making it cloudy, but it looks a lot more clearer now. So I will just recap and show you which ones are which, just so that you know, just in case it it does turn out to be a cloudy video. There was these that I've just shown you, which was the leftover yarn bracelets. Thought they would be quite nice for you to see. And then this was the bag, and I'm hoping that the stitch definition will come out better now. Although, because I printed it on both sides, the writing shows through. Typical! So you can see all different kind of stitch definitions, and I think even if you didn't want it all in one and you wanted to use lots of different colours, if you had some scrap yarn to use, I do think that that looks quite effective. And then there was the potato, positive potato there, and the tulips. Again, I like them because of the petals. So now we will crack on with the rest of it. I decided that I was going to show you Brian the penguin, because I thought that would be a lovely little make. I love everything about it. I love the fact of the purple yarn and the colour it gives, because of the fact it's like a stone washed. And I also like his feet. Aren't they lovely? And this one is by Alexa Templeton, and I think she might have a video. I'm not sure, because in brackets it says Lex in Stitches. So I don't know, but again, all the patterns that I've chosen today are Lovecraft patterns, and it's a beginner level, so it's fine if you are only just starting out. And it's in US terms again, and you can use DK, because they're suggesting DK or light worsted, but you can use anything you like again, can't you, really? The recommended hook size is 2.5, and the safety eyes are 6mm, and it works up to be about 5 inches tall with a 2.5mm hook. Now there isn't really a lot else I can point out on the pattern. It's all quite straightforward. There is some photos as you go along. It's not just written, to make sure that you're on the right track. I like that one. It's a good potato shape, isn't it? Before he gets the rest of it on. And so it's really nice, and it's all really well explained. And also she's on you can find this designer on Facebook as Lex in Stitches, and also on Instagram. And she has also got a picture of a pig in a teacup and a penguin in a teacup as well. So maybe if you search them up, you might find some more patterns. But again, I only found Brian the penguin because I thought that was really cute. So if you want that one, then that one's really nice. Then I thought something different, even though it's amigurumi, I thought that I would show you, because I've just come across the pattern, and it is for a door stopper. Now you would think that draft excluders and door stoppers and things like that, they're no longer used, but we like it in the summer to stop the doors from slamming. And how cute would it be if it was in the shape of a cat? So if you love cats, you don't have to do it in the Siamese type design like this one is. You can always just do it in the same variation as your cat, like a ginger cat or something like that, or black or grey. And I just think that it's really, really cute. They're saying to use Lion Brand 24/7 cotton. Well, any cotton, if you want to use cotton, or even DK. I think any would be suitable, really. You use a 3.75mm hook, or a size F5, which has got written here. The skill level is easy, and it's about 6 inches tall. And you need the additional materials that you need is weighted pellet stuffing and some craft whiskers. Well, I used some just very thin beading wire, and I got mine from Hobbycraft, but you can find it anywhere on Amazon or anything like that. So that would be a good idea for that as well. And it gives you some stitch explanation if you don't quite know what they're for, and also some technique explanation, because they're saying to use magic rings. So if you don't know how to do that, it gives you instructions for that. And there's also a lot of YouTube videos for things like that, so you can master the techniques as well. It gives you the abbreviations and how to finish it, and I just think it looks so cute. I really do love it. So I had to show you that because it was again something different, and I do like to try and have some variation on my channel. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you, which I've left until last, is by Sweet Oddity Art again, and this is Sean the Yeti. And my husband uses plays the Xbox, and Yeti is in his handle or username, his Xbox name, you know, that sort of thing. And I thought it would be really nice for me to make him one and sit it on his desk. And so that's the reason why I've copied out this. And if anyone else is a fan of Yetis, I think this one doesn't look too scary. I think it looks quite cute. I love the horns and the way that the ears are shaped. I love the fact that it's blue, and I have got some yarn already for this. I've got some fluffy yarn and some blue yarn that I showed ages ago, because I did find a different Yeti pattern, but I quite like this one more so. So I'm going to keep this and put it in the pipeline of my many makes eventually to do. And that brings me to the end of, oh hang on, I haven't told you about it, have I? Sorry. This lady has got an Etsy shop, which obviously I buy her patterns as well, and she has it's called Sweet Oddity Art, like I say. So you can go along and see what patterns she's got that actually are paid for, as well as the ones on here, on Love Crafts, that she's got for free. So far I found this one, and don't forget the mole that I told you about the other week. And so it's not just paid for patterns. I think she's being very fair by doing that. And for this, if anyone is interested, it's in American terms, and if I can just turn the page because they're sticking together. It's 19 inches from foot to head using a 3.25mm hook. It's an intermediate pattern suitable for novice crocheters. Requires patience and precision when assembling the Yeti and basic skills. So it's all right. I don't think they're looking at it from a skilled point of view. It does look quite basic. You haven't got to worry about anything. There's nothing too technical. So if you're feeling brave, then I would say give it a go, definitely. It gives abbreviations and some notes about not joining the rounds unless it's stated. They want you to do a continuous spiral, so that's fine. And using a stitch marker to mark the beginning of each round, and all the stitches are worked in both loops unless otherwise stated in the pattern. So at least they're letting you know. And there are pictures, you know, to go along so that you can make it look to see if it is right or not by the photos. And it shows pictures of the feet at the top, if it's going to focus. And that's what I like about this designer, because, you know, she's not afraid to just show you, because sometimes when you're reading it, it just doesn't make sense. There's some feet there. And when it doesn't make sense, it does get irritating, doesn't it? And then, of course, you've got the hands there. And there's pictures there, so that's fine. And then even the goggles, because of the fact, obviously, it's got a snowboard and everything with it. Shows you how to do those piece by piece, and then put it on the top of his head. So it's a very well sought after pattern. There's the snowboard being made. And then, of course, putting them together and stuffing. It's all bit by bit, piece by piece, and you don't have to worry because of the... If you're not quite sure what it says, you can just follow the pictures. And there he is, putting the horns on and everything. So it's all really, really straightforward and really nice. It gives you the exact yarns if you are fortunate enough to be able to get the exact yarns. It's Bernat velvet yarn, big twist cornflower blue, big twist light blue, grey. I love this yarn, and I love this yarn orchid, and I love this yarn blue. And charcoal. So, you know, in that sense, if you are lucky enough to get exactly the same, then fine. But there is so many really good yarn producers in the UK, not just America, you know, that you don't need to use the exact yarn. I've got special DK and other Aran yarns that I use, and I'm sure it would work out absolutely fine. And if you really wanted to, you could use the cottons and everything. So it's all fine. But I had to show you that because it did make me smile when I saw it. And I thought of my husband. So that brings me to the end of Free Pattern Friday. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sorry about the quality. and of the lighting at the beginning of the video, but at least we got there in the end. And I'm sorry you haven't really got that much to look at, because I tend to do it the other way because my yarn's there. But we can only do what we can. So like and subscribe. Please comment. If you've got any suggestions that you want me to look for, then please comment below, and I will do my utmost to find something that I can show you. And have a lovely weekend. Make sure that you make time for some crafting, and I will see you all again on Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye.